Okay, so I'm here with your NXT Takeover 2 Fatal 4-Way, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't even know why the fuck they would call it. Like, I saw they were calling like NXT Fatal 4-Way. Like, why would you give that name to the pay-per-view when there's only one Fatal 4-Way match on the show? I mean, it's pretty retarded. I mean, I'm all for it. You know, I like Fatal 4-Ways because it's usually more action and shit. So if you want to have a Fatal 4-Way, fine. You know, put some Fatal 4-Way matches in there, but don't call it a Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view. That's at least what I got. Maybe they were just calling that for like the last match, but I thought they were calling like the whole show NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way. Like, don't do that if there's only one Fatal 4-Way match. But whatever, it's not even that big a deal. So we get the show started off with the Mexicans. I don't even know their fucking names. It's Sin Cara, aka Hunico, and some other guy, Kalisto, I think his name is. They defeat the Ascension. I thought it was a pretty good match. I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars here. There was some nice action in here. You know, both Sin Cara and Kalisto have some nice moves in there, and you know, the Ascension's title run came to an end. So I mean, it was a pretty good match. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. Not anything great or anything, but you know, it was a good match. Uh, then we get Enzo Amore defeating LaFour, whatever the fuck his name is, hairy chest guy, whatever. It was a bad match. I mean, it just didn't really need to be on here. You know, just. I mean, I know who Enzo Amore is. He was with. I remember when I was watching NXT. You know, I stopped watching that god awful show. You know, like the weekly show. Like when I was watching it, it fucking sucked. I don't know what it is now, but I'm not gonna go back and watch it. But like it sucked. And I remember Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy were together, but Enzo was hurt, I believe, so I didn't get to see any of them. I know who LaFour is too. He was like a manager when I was watching. But this was a bad match. You know, I'll give it a half star out of 5. You know, it's supposed to be like a fucking hair match, which I'm not a big fan of. It's like seeing somebody's hair get cut isn't that entertaining to me. You know, and it's not really that entertaining. And yeah, he doesn't even get his hair cut. Like, I guess you're like, oh, it's a magic potion. What? What the fuck is that? I hate when they do shit that's so unrealistic. It just exposes wrestling as fake. You know, Jim Cornette said the same thing about Santino. You know, he just exposes wrestling as a fucking fake. Um, so yeah, I mean, this match was bad. Not good wrestling. Not a good storyline behind it with the magic potion. What the fuck is that? So then they pour it on LaFour's partner, who I don't even know who the fuck he is, because I don't watch this fucking show. But yeah, just not a good match. Then we get Kenta's debut. And you get William Regal coming out there to introduce Kenta. I guess they gave him a new name. Like, why give him a new name though? It's like he's been known as Kenta. Maybe it's copyright issues or something. But really, like, they give him this Japanese name that I can't even fucking remember. Why can't you just name him a simple name like Kenta? Kenta even sounds Japanese. It's easy to pronounce for me. You know, it's just a simple, you know, 2 syllable name, and it's, you know, just keep it that. But no, they gotta fucking change it to fucking you know, I don't even know. It's a two name. You know, he's got a first and last name, but whatever. It's not that big a deal, I guess. Then the Ascension comes out. You know, before he's cutting a promo. And one problem he's gonna have in WWE, he can speak English, but he's not that great at it. Like when he was talking, I found it funny. You know, the crowd was like dead silent because they didn't want to like mess him up. And, you know, I hear he's like trying his best or whatever, which is, you know, good. But it's like he's gonna have a tough time becoming a big star in WWE if he can't talk or he can't cut a promo. You know, he did all right. You know, but you could tell he was like struggling to get words out and shit. Um, so yeah, he's gotta develop more of an English skill. Like he was talking in Japanese. Um, but, you know, like, don't even do that, like, because most of the people who watch this are American and speak English, so don't even waste time talking in Japanese, because it's just a waste of time. But, he's going to have a tough time getting over if he cannot speak proper English, or tough time getting, you know, he better be a pretty damn good wrestler for the first, you know, until he can speak English. He better fucking wrestle like a, you know, better be a top wrestler wrestling wise if he wants to become a pretty big star in this company. So then the Ascension come out and they confront him. They throw him out of the ring, and then Kenta pretty much beats him up. I thought it was a good way to sort of, get Kenta over. Hopefully he won't become a Yoshitatsu because he looks like Kenta has some talent. Like I watched, I've seen a little bit of him before. It looks like he has some wicked fucking kicks. Like those kicks are really fucking fast. He seems like a pretty good wrestler too. So I thought this was a good way to sort of get him over. I mean, the Ascension were tag champs for like a year, so for Kenta to beat them both up, I mean, it's a pretty big deal. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was all right. A little boring there when Kenta was cutting his promo, but all in all, I guess it was decent. You see Kenta in WWE for the first time, or at least on live TV for the first time. So I guess it was pretty decent. And you got some, fighting too, which I wasn't really expecting. So it was decent, I guess. Then we get Bull Dempsey defeating that fucking retard Mojo Rawley, the guy who runs around like a fucking 4-year-old, acting like a fucking child, just a fucking tard. Fucking hate his ass. And I'm glad he lost, but the match was boring. A lot of it was just fucking like tackles and shit. Just not entertaining. I mean, Bull Dempsey, the headbutt, I guess, was a pretty cool spot there since he's such a big guy. But it wasn't that good. I'll give it 1 out of 5 stars. I felt like there was just too much filler on this match or on this card. Like if you go back to the previous NXT pay-per-views, like you might have had one stupid match. I remember Mojo Rawley faced somebody. Any match with Mojo Rawley in it is probably not going to be a good match. I remember Mojo Rawley was on one of the other NXT pay-per-views, and there was only like one bad match or one filler match. This one had like 2, or maybe even 3. And it just had a lot of shit in it, like fucking Enzo Amore, and it had some other backstage segments with Enzo and shit. And this one too was a fucking just stupid match, and yeah, just not very good match. I'll give it 1 out of 5 stars. And then Enzo Amore and Colin Cassie, tracked down the guy who they poured the magic potion on backstage, and he's got a towel over his head, so they bring him out, and they expose his bald head. I mean, really? Are we really supposed to believe that if you pour something on some guy's head, it's going to make his hair go away? Like, can we get some fucking logic in this company? I mean, who the fuck wrote this? I heard they had some writing changes in the company. Who the fuck wrote this shit? Whoever wrote this shit deserves to be reprimanded. Because this is just wrestling's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be real. Now, I can understand a little bit of fucking, unrealistic shit. Like, The Undertaker. That's okay. The Undertaker that fucking worked. A little bit of unrealistic is okay. But you should be pretty damn realistic. Like Santino, fucking sock puppet, acting like it's alive is not realistic. A fucking thing you pour on somebody's head to make his hair go away is not fucking even close to being motherfucking realistic. So whoever wrote this deserves to be fucking reprimanded. Or came up with the fucking idea. I mean, just stupid, I thought. It's very stupid. Then we get into the good shit here, I felt. Charlotte defeats Bayley in a good match here. I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was a good quality match. There was a lot of good pinning combinations in here, I thought. And yeah, I mean, Charlotte seems like a pretty good wrestler. She's not some guy like Randy Orton who's just feeding off his father's fame. She's actually pretty good, and Bayley too showed some nice wrestling in here too. So yeah, I felt it was a good match, good quality match. Finally, this is how Divas wrestling should be, just good technical wrestling, here. And like I like the one spot where Charlotte had Bayley in the fucking the triangle choke or what I think they were calling like a figure 4 choke or whatever, and she was like throwing Bayley with it. Yes, so some good spots here, I felt. So yeah, I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I thought the ending was stupid though. That's the only thing that was really bad about this match. Like Charlotte just hit her finisher out of nowhere, and I thought that was pretty stupid. I was hoping for a better finish, but all in all, it was a good quality match. Then we get the Fatal 4-Way match between Neville, Zayn, Breeze, and Tyson Kidd. Another quality match. I thought it started out slow and boring, like the first 10 minutes. But then it picked up a lot. You know, these guys know how to fucking wrestle. You know, and I don't believe in, you know, when people say, oh, they just got to give it time for the match to get going. Like, no, you don't. Why can't you just start off wrestling, you know, fast-paced right off the bat? But it started off slow and boring. Like, there was one point where, like, Neville kept trying to get into the ring, and then Tyson Kidd would hit him, and then Tyson Kidd would just do a bunch of boring moves. I'm not saying Tyson Kidd's a boring wrestler. He has a lot of good moves, but, yeah, I mean, this match was, then it got better. Like, the last 10, 15 minutes were some really good wrestling. Like Neville fucking is like a fucking acrobat. Like, I remember when he, like, fucking did the backflip off the top rope onto the outside. Look, he went so fucking high in the air. Like, the camera didn't even get high enough up to see. Like, that was fucking amazing. Like, these guys are fucking, you know, acrobat. Like, especially Neville. It's, like, so acrobatic, it's ridiculous. And so fucking, like, you can't even believe some, like, that even his finisher, the red arrow, like, that's fucking amazing. He jumps so high in the air and does the fucking spinning. He lands it perfectly every time. I mean, this guy's got a good future in the company, if they don't ruin him. And everybody is a good wrestler in this match. I felt like it could have been better. I thought it could have been great, but just the start of it really, you know, was boring, so that didn't make it great. But yeah, it was a quality match, and the show, I mean, overall, and the ending too. I didn't really like the ending. Like, if you're gonna turn Neville heel, then fucking, like, do it more emphatically than this. Like, taking a ref's, you know, leg and pulling it out of the ring, it's not really that great of a heel turn if that's what they were trying to do. And if they weren't trying to do that, then I thought it was just, you know, pretty stupid. Yeah, I guess it wasn't stupid because, you know, it is a fatal 4-way and there is no rules. That's one thing. There was nothing really like that extreme. Like, in a fatal 4-way match, it's no DQ, so maybe they could have used, like, a table spot or, like, that announcer's table there. I thought that would have contributed to the match and made it better, because you don't usually see a lot of extreme moments in NXT. But, you know, it's like, if you're going to turn him heel, then make it a good heel turn, not just, you know, this shitty thing. Make it good, you know, and I felt this wasn't that good of a heel turn if that's what they were aiming to do. But you know, I thought it was still a good quality match here. The ending, not that good. A lot of endings weren't that good. And, you know, the two main events, that's what they were calling it, the two main events. They both had shitty endings, but they were both quality matches. I don't know if I said it, but I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. So overall, I mean, you had a pretty good show. You had some shit in there, some stupid fucking filler matches. But overall, a good quality show. I'll give it 7 out of 10 stars. And, you know, NXT is really fucking better than WWE. Like, especially the pay-per-views are. It's just like the fucking shows, the weekly shows. Like, I watched it for like 5 or 6 weeks, and I found it really fucking boring. Because they would have like 3 4-minute matches, and then they would put on like 1 10-minute match. So I just felt it boring. But this show, I mean, it was good. Good show. Good quality show today. Or actually yesterday. But yeah, felt it was good quality TV. And I just renewed my subscription on the network. And this was the first thing I watched. So I'm happy. You know, I got to watch some good shit tonight. Or yesterday. My bad, people. Yesterday. So there you go, people. 7 out of 10 stars. Good pay-per-view.